The Manifestation Process. 10 Steps to Fulfilling Your Desires by John Randolph Price. Step 1. The Principle of Intunement. This principle is based on opening your heart and mind to your spiritual nature. It is tuning into that presence and power of God within you. It is recognizing that the mind and power of God is right where you are, individualized as you. Let's spend some time with this particular step, because without it, you will be operating strictly on mind power. You will be giving yourself a mental treatment rather than a spiritual treatment, and the results will be dramatically different. Getting back to basics for a moment, I think you will agree that the Spirit of God is everywhere present, all-knowing, all-loving, all-powerful. Now, the beautiful and fascinating thing to me is that the universal Spirit began to individualize itself as me, as you, even before we came forth as distinct units of consciousness. Think about it. In order for you to be, to exist, Infinite Mind had to conceive of you, and this focus of you, on you, as you, was the beginning of the individualizing process out of which you came into being. As God contemplated Himself, or itself, as you, a state of consciousness was expressed or pressed out. An individualized energy field, a force field of consciousness, appeared. Now, remember, the word consciousness means it's awareness, understanding, and knowledge. And that original state of consciousness that you had was a superconsciousness, which means a super awareness, a super understanding, and a super knowledge of God. Now, when you are super aware of something, when you have super understanding of something, when you have super knowledge of something, that something literally becomes your consciousness. The thinker and the thought become one. So in truth, the reality of you is God knowing Himself as God, God knowing Himself as you, and you knowing yourself as God. This trinity of knowingness becomes one in consciousness, the master consciousness of the master self within you. So in truth, each one of us is a living, moving, walking, talking, rainbow-colored energy field of God. And within that energy field is everything that we could possibly desire, not only for this life, but for all eternity. We have the kingdom of God right now. Then why am I not living a perfect life? If this pure vibration of divine consciousness is manifesting as an eternal condition of well-being within me, how in the name of God can I ever be sick or experience disease? If this infinite prosperity is individualized as me, how in the world can I possibly experience lack of supply? If God is living as me now, why am I not living as God? The answer is, we have not opened the door of our thinking mind and feeling nature. That master self within is knocking right now, but for many of us, the door is closed, and all that super consciousness of mastery is for naught. How do we open the door? Let's go back to the definition of consciousness. Remember, it's awareness, understanding, and knowledge, and it's the key to open the door to the secret place. Try this experiment with me. Close your eyes and visualize a red rose. Can you see that red rose? Of course you can. You can see it because it has been brought into your conscious awareness. You are now aware of the red rose. Therefore, you are now conscious of it. Now think of that Christ self, the Spirit of God within you, around you and through you, occupying the same space as you do. To get the full impact of this awareness, you have to feel it. So think on this idea for a moment. There is a superconsciousness of God within me right now. It is the Master Self that I am. In truth, the Master Consciousness that I am. And it is closer than breathing, nearer than hands and feet. I look within and sense this all-knowing mind, and I feel the presence of love in my heart. Do you see what you're doing? You are becoming more aware of your true nature, the super self within you. You are fanning the divine spark of spiritual awareness deep within your soul into a living flame of truth. Understand that the more you are consciously aware of your God self, the more that self fills your consciousness. And the greater your consciousness is of this higher self, the greater your understanding of it will be. And the greater your understanding, the greater your knowledge. And knowledge is power. In the process of expanding consciousness, you literally take on the attributes of your superconsciousness. And this is what is meant to put on Christ. You literally become that which you are conscious of. This is why it is so important to spend time daily in meditation. In contemplative meditation, where you ponder and reflect upon and think about and consider fully the wholeness and completeness of this Master Self, you are in truth. Knowing that through that contemplation, you are drawing the presence of God right into your consciousness. And with this infilling, your consciousness becomes cause to the world. You are no longer just an effect. With Christ in you, your hope of glory, you become cause. And truly, all things are possible.